Hello, and welcome to my channel. My name is Maria and I make personal development content here on YouTube. And so in today's video, I want to come on here and talk about 3 ways that you'll know that God has called you to do something, but it's just not the time just yet. And if you have not already, be sure to check out my previous video, which I talked about the way that you will be able to hear God's voice and know that it is Him telling you and calling you to do something versus your own voice. And so it's 3 undeniable ways that you will know that God is calling you to do something. And so this is a continuation of that video. And so, what really brought and led me to do this was because, again, I was speaking to a client and she was letting me know, like, I feel like I hear God's voice and I feel like He's calling me to do something, but I'm just not sure. Is it me or is it Him? And then, well, what if it's not the right time? So, this got me to really start to think about these things and, just sort of the advice I gave her, but also too things that I just wanted to kind of talk about a little bit further. So this video is again 3 ways that you will know that God has called you to do something, but it's just not the right timing just yet. So the first way you'll know is that you've heard God's voice, but you were still told no. So I know you're probably like, what? Like, that doesn't really make sense. How am I hearing God tell me, yes, this is for me, but then I'm also being told no? And a great example of that is, let's say, you wanted to get into law school or you wanted to get into a doctorate program and you really want to become a doctor and you've been studying for your MCATs. I think that's what it is for being a doctor, but I know for sure for being an attorney it is the LSAT. Let's say you've been studying for it, you've been preparing for it, you took your LSAT, and then you started applying for law schools, and then boom. Next thing you know, you receive rejected, 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 rejected to all the schools that you were trying to get into. And now you're left feeling like, okay, God, what are you trying to do right now? Like, I heard you tell me that this is for me. Like, I heard you tell me I'm going to be an attorney. So, like, what's going on? And so, I know that saying of like a delay is not a denial is so cliche, or it sounds so cliche, but it's so true. It is literally the simple fact that God is saying, right now, I need to have you focus on something else. So, what that may look like is law school, going to school to be a doctor. All those things are so stressful, right? And so you may be at a place right now in your life where like your mental health may not be the best, like you may be really stressed out. You may not have great ways to deal with stress in those times. And so, you may find yourself crying a lot and just going through a lot of storms right now in life. And it just feels like that just seems like another thing just added on to it. That's like, now I've been rejected from this. And then it's just like, God, seriously, what is going on? What is happening? And so, what you really don't realize is that God is just saying, just not right now, right? I need you to be able to focus on your mental health. I need you to be able to focus on getting yourself together, because if I allow you to get into the school right now in this season, it's going to break you. It's going to break you because you already have so much other things that you are still struggling with and still trying to deal with, that you have not figured out how to deal with that yet. You have not found ways to relieve your stress that you have right now in this season alone. So why, as your father, why would I add on additional stress to you? I'm not going to add on additional stress to you because I'm not trying to break you. I'm not trying to have you to the point where you're questioning life, to the point where you're saying, is this really for me? Am I really capable of handling this? Because yes, the answer is yes. Yes, I did call you. Yes, you did hear me say that you're going to be an attorney. Yes, you did hear me say that I have these things set out for you. But guess what? Your ways are not my ways. And so God is saying, like, yes, absolutely, you heard my voice. Yes, absolutely, all of these things are true. But right now, I have to delay this because you have to be able to focus on this area right now. Right now, you got to get this together, because when you get into your doctorate program, when you get into law school, those things are going to stress you out even more. And you have to be prepared for those things. But I need you to focus right now on your mental health, so that when you do get to this stage, so you do get to this season that I'm calling you to, you will have the skills and the tools to be able to handle the stress, because you have already used these same skills and tools in this season of your life where you're stressed. But you have to be able to acquire those skills first before I allow you to get to this next thing that I'm calling you to do. So that's sign number one. So sign number two is just simply that God is going to lead you back to it at a later time. And so what that looks like is, maybe right now, let's say for instance, your finances are not in order. So maybe what you really want to do, what you feel God has really called you to do, is set up your own organization, or set up like a nonprofit organization where you're helping people, where you're serving people, where you're really helping people out. And you're like, God, I know that this is the purpose, God, for my life. I know this is the calling that you have for my life, God. I heard your voice. I heard you tell me this, God. I know that this is more aligned with where you want me to be. And God is saying, yes, that is where I want you to be. The thing is, though, right now, you don't have your finances in order, for example. So if your finances are not in order, you're not able to leave your job right now. And so what that means is that God is just saying, right now, in this time, I need you to work on your finances. It may just be a simple fact that you may have to work a little bit more in corporate America, right? You may just have to get some more money together, more money saved up, so that when you do step fully into your purpose, you will not have to go back to corporate America. And so sometimes it's just a simple fact of being in alignment. But while you are saving up your money, while you are saving up your funds, while you are doing these things to fully be able to step away from corporate America and doing something that just doesn't feel fulfilling, something that's not necessarily feel like your purpose, your calling, all those things, I'm still developing you. I'm still preparing you. So simultaneously, while you are building those funds, I'm still preparing you for your calling, okay? So there's still things that's happening right now in your life. It may not even be at work. It may not even be while you're working or while you're at the job. It's something right now happening in your life that is happening, that is preparing you for this. So you think that, oh, I'm just waiting. You think that, oh, I'm just having you wait because I want you to be able to build up your funds. But no, that's just the one thing. You building up your funds is just the one thing. You're not even paying attention to the other part of you that I'm preparing you for. So you want to be able to have a nonprofit organization. You want to be able to help people out. You want to be able to communicate with people. You want to be able to do these things. But have you been able yet to be able to communicate with the people in your life well? How about your family member? Maybe you want to open up a nonprofit organization because you've been homeless before, or you've been in a situation before where you have been without, or something like that. So you want to be able to help other people out financially and help them find a job or something like that. But how are your communication skills right now with the people in your life? And so God said, as I am aligning you, okay, hear me out, okay? So as I am aligning you right now, you think that I'm just aligning the funds. Yes, the funds are important, because when I set you up with this money, okay, it's going to be at a place where you are able to never go back to corporate America. So you got the funds part, but then I also got to make sure that you got the personality part, right? You got the character part, right? So that has to be in alignment along with the funds. And so when both of those things are in alignment, that is when I am calling you to now fully step out. But see, you can't have the one without the other. So you think it's just the funds. You think it's just the funds that I am trying to make sure that you have. But there's still something else in this area of your life that I still, in a different area of your life, that I'm still preparing and developing for you. And that is another way that God is telling you, yes, I have called you to do this, but I'm still waiting for you to come around to whatever I am preparing and working in you. And so that way it can align with my perfect timing. And then finally, sign number 3 that God is telling you and has called you to do something, but it's just not the timing yet, is that He is preparing your heart. So God really likes to expose us to ourselves. And so in doing that, right? That's like really the heart check. Like, where are you really in this? Are you wanting to serve in my kingdom? Are you wanting to do these things for your purposes? Is it because you want more money? Is it because you want more followers? Are you doing it because you want to lead other people to you so that you can benefit from this? Or are you trying to lead them to me? And that is a very important thing that God has to reveal to us. Where is your heart? And it's like a heart check of what are your true intentions? Because the thing is that's so important about this is if you are doing this for you and you are not doing this to serve in God's kingdom solely, and that's not your sole purpose, it is, you are liable to lead his people astray. You are liable to say something or do something that'll end up making people question your true intentions, question your true heart, question, was it ever really real? And so, for that very reason, God is wanting to make sure that you're not going to just throw in the towel when things get rough. You're not going to just throw in the towel when things get hard, when you don't feel like He's blessing you, when you don't feel like things are happening fast enough, when you don't feel like things are happening quick enough. God wants to make sure that your heart and your true intentions are pure. So, when you're going through these processes, okay, and you are going through this time and you're putting forth the effort and you're just like, when is my season coming? Your season is coming if your heart's intentions are well. If God is able to say, well done, you are doing what I have called you to do, and I see your heart, and you see your heart, and you know in the bottom of your heart that you are doing this to serve in my kingdom. Because what God is not going to do is bring you up to the top to bring his people down. When you expose yourself, right? When people are able to see that your intentions were not truly well. And so God is not going to do that. He's not in the business of confusion or chaos for his people. And so what he really wants for you to do right now in the season of your life is to do a heart check on yourself. What are your true intentions? What are you doing? Are you really doing this because you truly care? And so when you truly care, you won't just throw in a towel. You won't be just so easy to just say, nope, you know what? Never mind. Like, this is just too rough. This is just too hard, because it's not about you. It will not be about you. It will be about God's purpose. And so when you find yourself questioning God's timing and you're like, God, what's going on? What are you doing? Figure out where your heart is right now, right? What do you really, what are you really coming to God about? What are you really asking him about, right? Because if you're serving, you know, the Bible already says, if you're serving and your heart is pure and your intentions are pure, God will bless you. So it's not about that. But God is saying right now in this season of your life, you're not able to handle what you're asking for. Because if I was to give you what you're asking for, you become very self-righteous and you will not be leading my people the way you need to be leading them. Because as soon as you get to that number of subscribers, as soon as you get to those number of followers, as soon as you get to this amount of money in life, as soon as you get here and there, you will completely neglect my people. You will completely forget about my people because you will have reached your goals when it has never been about your goals. And so in this time when you are finding yourself questioning, God, what are you doing? What's going on with your timing? I thought I heard you say this, all these things. Yes, you heard him say that this is the calling for your life. Yes, you heard his voice. Yes, you did. But what God is really trying to show you right now too is your heart in it. And is if your heart in it, is your heart in it? So that's really it for me. I really want to come on here and just provide these 3 ways that you will know that God, again, is saying yes, but it's just about that timing and how our actions, our hearts, all these things, and plus most importantly God and his timing all come into play in order for us to move into that new calling or into that calling that God has set out for us. But these are ways that you will be able to know that yes, God has called you, but it's all about his timing. So thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Let me know if there's anything that you would like me to speak about further regarding this topic, or if you have any topic suggestions. I'm always down in the comments responding. Again, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again in the next video. Bye-bye.